Welcome to Testimony Tuesday, everybody. It is your girl TC from the D. I was having a couple of technical difficulties as we was getting ready to launch out here. So I was like, oh my God. So I hope that you guys can hear. I'm hoping everything is good. Oh, thank you. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. I definitely am excited about tonight. Consistency. The topic tonight is the power of consistency. And I want to make sure that you guys, oh, you say it sounds good? Oh no, I think that's a friend of mine saying something else to something else. Hey Bria, can you hear me well? I see Bria in there. Let me know if you can hear me well, boo. Because I'm like, oh, I was having some technical difficulties. So I want to make sure before you get out of here, Bria, let me know if you can hear me. I hope you can hear me well. I hope you can hear me well. Because I was having some technical difficulties and I don't want to dive into this thing and then, we lose everything. So I just want to make sure the sound is good. So, yes, ma'am, I can. Thank you. I appreciate you. Who getting married soon? A couple of people I know. Oh, hello, Carmen. Hi. Thank you. And Bria, thank you so much for that. So, okay, y'all. Tonight we are going to dive into the hot topic, the power of consistency. I don't know if you guys believe that it's important to be consistent. I don't know if you have heard that it's a recipe that will help you be great. Thank you, Bria. I appreciate that, Queen. Thank you. So I'm going to share a video. I found this video and I thought it was super dope to be able to share with you guys. So I want to bring this up. And it's just a little bit of motivation to kick off tonight's hot topic, okay? And we're going to keep it positive and we're going to keep it smooth, right? If you want to share your comments that are positive and that's going to be enlightening to someone else that may just be what someone needs to hear tonight, by all means, you got to go through StreamYard to log into your Facebook account. That way I can see your questions, I can see your comments, and then I can, go ahead and share with you. You said you got to do your homework. I know that's right. Listen, do your homework. Okay, so let me share this video and then I'm going to get us going. I'm not going to keep you guys long tonight. I got some things I do want to share before I go into this video. We got some things going on, some pretty dope things going on. If you are in the D, okay, I want to share something with you if I can. I was trying to pull this up and you know how things can get. Okay, I saw that. Oh, all right. I'm going to try to bring that up for you. I see that. I'm going to try to bring that up for you. Okay, so let me see if I can share what's going on at the Bonsdale Theater tomorrow in honor of Stevie Wonder. So the one and only Miss Lisa McCall is going to be in the building. She's choreographing an amazing piece to the event that's going on. So I want to share a little bit of that with you. So I'm getting real good. Shout out to my husband, Swifty McVeigh, who co-produces my show for me and helps me out with all that kind of stuff and all that jazz. I'm going to see if I can navigate this thing and not lose anything, but I do want to share some promo with that. But I'm going to bring up this video because I know I have that in the queue and I want that to kickstart. I want you guys to listen very closely to what's being said in this video, and it's all aligning with the hot topic for tonight, the power of consistency. All right, so let me bring it to the stage.
If you go to the gym and you work out and you come back and you look in the mirror, you will see nothing. And if you go to the gym the next day and you come back and you look in the mirror, you will see nothing. So clearly there's no results, can't be measured, it must not be effective. So we quit. Or if you fundamentally believe that this is the right course of action and you stick with it, you commit yourself to the regime, the exercise. But if you stick with it consistently, I'm not exactly sure what day, but I know you'll start getting into shape.
If you hit an oak tree 1,000 times, in 1,000 different spots, what's gonna happen? Absolutely nothing. But if you hit an oak tree 1,000 times in the exact same spot, you know what's gonna happen? You're gonna bring it down. You're going to do the impossible. People put out goals, dreams, and aspirations and what they want to accomplish, but you very rarely hear people say what they're willing to sacrifice in order to make it happen. They'll tell you the goal, the dream, the aspiration. They'll tell you they want to be great, but they're not going to say, I'm going to stop going out on Friday night. They're not going to say, I'm going to sacrifice and I'm going to stay late. I don't hang with people who can only get up when they got something to motivate them. That's not somebody I want to hang out with. I want to hang with somebody, I don't care what the circumstances, I don't care what the situation. You put it on your back and you like, let's go. Bro, you hear me? You gotta have that dog. I gotta clear my mind of some stuff, but when I get up there, I gotta do what I gotta do. Why? Because success is not a feeling, it's a mindset.
You have to commit to becoming better. You have to commit to being a person of action. You have to commit to being someone who doesn't just talk, but follows through. You have to plan ahead. And by planning ahead, you have to create a life in your head that is so fucking great that even if you fall short, you're gonna be better than everybody else.
Your problem is you start something, you stop it. You start something, you stop it. You feel good, you do it. You don't feel good, you quit. Stop doing stuff in January that you know you're not gonna do in March. I'm just saying whatever you do, be on time and be consistent. People who do stuff consistently and on time, they surpass people who talented and gifted. Sometimes it ain't about being the most talented. Smart. Sometimes it's about consistency. Consistency. Just keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it and never stop and never give up and never quit and keep doing it day after day, play after play, second after second.
You should work every day like somebody's working 24 hours a day to take it away from you. If you're not working to get better on a daily basis, if you're not pursuing the fulfillment of your own true potential, you are losing. You're either getting better or you're getting fucking passed by people who are. Every time you kick back and you think you're the greatest and you think you're the shit and you think you're the best at what you do, there's somebody that's 1 inch behind you that gets better than you.
If you do this morning, noon, and at night, it's gonna happen. The only way it doesn't happen is you're not focusing on it and you're not giving it energy. So even if you're better than me, it doesn't matter. If I'm putting energy out in the world is gonna respond because if I put energy on it, it ain't no way it's not gonna happen. The only way I'm not going to be the best is if I'm not out there. You're acting like doing well is an option. That's not an option. Show up. That means I come every single time on time. It means every time I come, I put in 120% or I don't come. Why? Because I'm trying to be the best. Every single day you wake up, if you're going to have energy, if you're going to have drive, every day you wake up, you got to start with that vision. People look at those of us who are successful like we superhuman. We're not. We're normal people like you. The only difference is we wake up with clarity. We wake up knowing exactly what we want. We wake up knowing exactly what our purpose is. When you understand what you're after, when you know what your outcomes are, when you know what you desire, you wake up every single morning and you go after it. And if you're not willing to do it every single day, you're not going to beat the man that's doing it every single day. I'm not the best, but they have not outworked me. I'm not the best. I'm a beast. The real beast is when their legs give out. The real beast when they tired. The real beast find a way to pull something out when nobody else ain't got nothing.
Woo! Let me tell y'all. When I found that video, and I got chills right now, I was geeked up. I was hyped. I was motivated. I listened to that video over and over and over yesterday. Right? I went through some videos because I said I want to motivate and encourage and inspire those that's going to join me for Testimony Tuesday, because we're going to talk about the power of consistency. And there is power in it. I'm living proof. If you look back there, I think it's that way, right? Yeah. If you look back there to that banner that I have, that was my very first official banner. However, I've been podcasting since 2020, and I love Facebook for the memories. I know you guys get that too. I know I'm not the only one, but I've saw the growth over the years. Like, there was none of the photos and I didn't have the voiceovers. Heck, I didn't even have a visual. Shout out to Jervis Canty. Jervis Canty is the reason why I became a visual personality, right? I always give flowers and plants to Courtney Benjamin because he is the one that encouraged me to start podcasting. Doing a label meeting, we were totally talking about something else. We were having a label meeting, and we just got on that subject. I'll never forget. I think we were at Panera Bread in Southfield or Zoop or one of those, and we were talking about label business, and then he brought it up, and then I'm like, "What is that?" And blah 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 blah. And we went in from there, but consistency, right? I remember. I know my husband will remember this well. I said, no one knows me. And at that time, I didn't have a show name. I didn't know what it was going to be called. I didn't know what I was going to talk about. I didn't know any of that. And I'm a big lover of love. I'm a big lover of marriages. I love marriages. I love people that love and want to build upon that. And I was like, okay, I'm married. I'm for the married people, and some marriages will last and some will not. And that's a whole nother podcast, right? Because sometimes we enter these marriages with false intentions or not good intentions, right? Whatever that looks like. However, that's another podcast. Like I said, that's another podcast. So I was talking to my husband and I was like, I don't know what I'm going to call the show. I want to pour into marriages and I want marriages to grow. And I said, oh, that's it. Married couples pour. Right. Because right now I have this very fancy glass. I have the ladies' information. I just bought it at a pop-up shop this past weekend. I went out to support Ben Rocky's husband at the pop-up shop, and I got some great things with this glass. My husband bought me this. I love the embellishments. And I was like, I'm gonna have a nice glass of wine. I like my red wine. And just relax and just sit back. But back in the day when I started podcasting, I had my wine and it was like, oh, I'm gonna pour my glass of wine. And I was, trying to build a relationship with Stella Rosa, the wine brand and all that thing, right? Because we're all about marketing, we're all into these things. So it was audio though. And then it became visual after I did an interview on Jervis's show. And I didn't have any graphics and whatever. And shout out to a sister from another mister and mother, Cedrina. She created what you see back there. She blessed me with business cards. She was the first outside of my husband to sew into TT from the D podcast. And TT from the D podcast wasn't even TT from the D podcast. It was Married Couples Pour. So I started that in 2020. One day, somebody stopped me in church and said, I love your show. However, I'm divorced now and I can't really relate to what you're talking about any longer. However, if you ever do something that I can relate to, I'm going to be tuning in. And that really sat with me because I said, I'm for the people, right? I'm for everybody, right? I love and I love married people and all that. Yes, I do. However, I'm for everybody, right? So I was talking to my husband about that, right? And so he said, well, why don't you start another podcast or why don't you change the title? So I was like, well, what would I change the title to? So I'm going through names, right? Because I'm a creator. My husband's a creator. And we're going through all these names and whatever. And that's how some of the best things come abroad, everybody. That's how some of the best things manifest itself. Just by creatively talking at a table with someone else, even out loud. Sometimes, I got sticky notes all over my podcast table here. And I got calendars. I got all kinds of things. So you write down or you bounce ideas off of someone. And, what about this? And he's like, yeah, that sounds cool. I'm like, what about this name? What about this name? And so I remember saying, you know what? I'm just TT from the D. I said, oh, TT from the D. I'm from the D, right? When I go travel, whatever, I'm like, I'm from the D, right? You know how we say, what up, doe? That's our greeting worldwide, right? And so that's how TT from the D was born, right? The podcast. And so I had a little bit of visuals. I didn't have voiceovers. I was like, hey, let me get you some voiceovers and things like that. And it was just like, okay. So we started doing that. He surprised me with I have like all these microphones, like for when I have guests in the studio, I got my desktop microphone. And it started out with a smaller mic. I wish you guys could see that. I had a small mic and it was powerful. But as I evolved and as I stayed consistent, I elevated. I started to grow. Seeds started being planted, not only by myself, but my husband who believed in me, right? Getting into that thing on days I didn't even want a podcast. It is like, yo, somebody needs to hear what you got to talk about. And I'm like, okay. And I always think about that one saying, right? You know how they say Jesus is after the 100, but he gonna lead the 99 to go after that one that kind of goes off, right? And so I was just like, I'm here for the one. And that's my motivation. Like tonight, I don't know how many people. I know I got people I can see over here. I can see some people through messengers. Kyra B, my licensed resident therapist, is over in the building. I saw your thing pop up. Thank you. I love you. You guys are going to see her very, very soon. Her and Vaughn will be on. Oh, hold on. I got my calendar right here. So Kyra B and Vaughn will be on the show, TT from the D, Testimony Tuesday, on June 9th. I got some amazing lineups, some amazing guests getting ready to come down. I can't wait to tell you about them. But the consistency, the growth, right? Whether it was 1 or 10 or 20 or 30. When I logged on and I was getting ready to set off tonight, there was 32 people. I said, dang, I ain't even started yet. But I said, I know it's going to taper off because this ain't for everybody. And I said, we're going to keep it positive and sweet. So if you got anything that's ignorant or negative, it will never get airplay over here on TT from the D, Testimony Tuesday. It will never see light, right? I will never share negativity. Okay, never over here. That's not what we're here for. There's my licensed resident therapist, Kyra B, in the building. Yes, y'all. That's our official TT from the D podcast licensed therapist. Licensed. Did you hear me? Clock the T, clock the T. What? So they're going to be on and they're going to talk about something amazing, right? They're doing something amazing in the city for all of our artists, whether you are a singer or a rapper or a painter or a musician, a dancer. If you are an artist of any form, they cooking up some stuff. And I mean, it's on site. Like, I don't want to give you more. You got to tune in. When did I say that date is? I said, let me look back at my calendar because I don't want to have you tune into the wrong show. I want you to tune into all the shows, but I definitely want you to tune in for when Kyra B and Vaughn comes on. That is going to be June 9th. You'll be seeing promo rolling out very, very soon. Clock the T. So back to consistency. Okay. So Sadrina was the first to, outside of my husband, to pour into my podcast. I had another person, I won't say the name. It's the local network that was interested in having me come on and bring in TT from the D in the form of an actual talk show. I did the Homer Simpson when I had the call because I was like, oh, wait, hold up. What? And I had a really good conversation with the founder of that network. And I remember, I'll never forget, I was sitting in the car outside of PF Chang's in Troy. I was getting ready to join my family for dinner. And I got the call. And I was sitting in the car and I was speaking to the founder. And I was like geeked up, like, little old me, TT from the D, like what? And so, but I could not commit to 5 days a week. And that's what they needed from me. I could have had a talk show, y'all. I could have had a talk show with a set, but I couldn't commit to 5 days a week because I wear many hats, right? Y'all know I do stage management. I'm an artist assistant. I'm an executive assistant to Courtney Benjamin. Courtney Benjamin from Benjamin Entertainment Group. I'm a freelancer, right? And so then I founded Craig Enterprises. I consult. So I do a whole lot. And I'm like, ugh. And people always ask me, like, how do you have time? I be always like, God, baby, God. God gives me the energy. He gives me the gas so I can be consistent. It is not just TT. It's been plenty of days. Like I told y'all when I launched last week, I was sick the whole month of November, but I was consistent and I was faithful to doing the 30-day scripture challenge over on Spotify and iHeartRadio because I was doing that. I haven't launched that back yet, but I'm going to get back to that too. And so I was sick all of November. I was going into December sick, but I was consistent. It was days my voice was like, oh, I was boiling tea. And I was like, if the last thing I do, I'm going to deliver this because I'm going to be obedient. Right. And in my time, and where this word came from, consistency, God dropped that in my lap last year before I got sick, before I did the 30-day scripture challenge, right? While I was sick, God gave me 3 words. He revisited the first C word, right? I said the CRC. So, right, it's the CRC. He told me about the consistency, right? Now, we've talked about that word. God has given it to me in my spirit many times over the last 6 years, right? He also gave me the R, restoration. And then the last C was clarity. Now, I didn't know what that meant when I was going through and dealing with and keyword through. Okay. So I was just doing my thing. Yes, Bria, June 9th, the T. Yes. She said the only answer. Andy is clocking the T, boo, clocking the T. Andy is. And so I was like, okay, Lord, you gave me consistency, the word consistency. You gave me the word restoration. You gave me the word clarity. As I was going through and then I started to get better, I knew I was getting ready to go on a hiatus, right? Y'all know I normally shut down in December and I run that thing again coming in February. So I have been blessed. I have another believer. I have another partner. I have another person who sows a seed into TT from the D podcast, who is a sponsor for me as well. And that's Melanie Smiles. She's my sister from another mister. She's going to also be on the show very soon. She's going to come on the panel discussion, Stepping Out on Faith. We'll be doing that show on June 23rd. We'll be doing Stepping Out on Faith on June 23rd. You'll have Melanie Smiles. You'll have Beatrice Stevens, Pastor Mickey Smith, all the way from North Carolina, right? Jacksonville. And then we'll have Christina Benjamin, all the way from Atlanta. They will be on. I may have one more guest. I can't release the name because we have to, the scheduling, they have to align. So I'm trying to work that last thing out. So yes, I'm going to be excited about that. We're going to do an amazing show. We got some amazing shows coming on, let me tell you. And when I was talking to one of my coworkers today, and I said, I feel, and Kyra B said this. Oh, sis, clocking the T. Kyra B said, she's not what I'm saying, but I'm confirming what she said to me. She spoke life into it. And I said it today without even realizing what I was doing. I said, God got his hands on Testimony Tuesdays. I wrestled with changing and going from tap in Tuesdays, right? Because y'all know we get crunked and hyped over there. But I said, we get crunked and hyped for the Lord. I don't care if it's Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It don't matter. We're going to get a testimony, right? I've locked down Tuesdays for the last 6 years. And I said, okay, you know what? We rolling. So I said at first, right? I said, okay, so I'm going to do every other tap in Tuesday and every other testimony Tuesday. So I was talking to my husband about it. My husband, he is like so faithful. Bria, you baby, come through. Stepping Out on Faith on June 23rd. In the building. Yes, baby. Let's get it. Thank you, mama. Thank you. And so I was just like, okay, I was going to, so my husband was like, okay, well, whatever you want to do, if that's going to be a lot, maybe you should just do Testimony Tuesday, right? Because my husband's a believer. I know he a rapper, but let me tell you, one of the things that was so sexy about my husband when I met him, he wasn't my husband. I wasn't even into him like that at first, but that drew me to his spirit outside of, you walk past the person, that's another story, another podcast, but it was how he knew the Bible. He knew the word, right? I was like, I prejudged him, right? I was like, you a rapper. You don't know nothing about no Bible. That man went to his car, got his Bible that had his name on the front of it. I was like, come through. Okay. Start talking about scriptures, having open, not just this, but he was like, and y'all could go and look at so-and-so. I'm going to show you right now. He said, because you have to be able to show the word as much as you know the word. And I was sitting there like, okay, rapper. Okay. So I just went on from there. So just think about that. It ain't nothing like a praying husband. And I have one of those. Okay. Right. I'm a praying wife as well. And so I thought about it. I prayed on it. And God was like, Testimony Tuesday. Absolutely is going to be that. So then it was like, okay, the launch. I was like, okay, I'm gonna launch, and I kept, I'm gonna launch next week, or I'm gonna launch. Okay, I got to do my photo shoot. And then Melanie was like, sis, yo, when you making your appointment? Like, you supposed to be getting it, because she be on me about that, right? And I'm like, okay, you right. So I was like, oh, I'm dropping the ball. And then I realized something, y'all. I was scared because I didn't know how y'all was gonna receive Testimony Tuesday, right? Versus Tap In Tuesday. But then I said, I'm here for the one, but I know it's gonna be many, right? I'm one, and it's gonna be many. Okay. And so as we start moving forward, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna do this. I gotta do the photo shoot. I gotta do this. Mimi, I call Mel Mimi. Mimi was like, send me some photos. I got you. Listen, the graphics y'all seen that I've been like just right? I've been treating it like a spade. Right? Just knocking it out. All because of Mimi, her graphic designing and everything. It was on point. Okay. She's killing the game with that. Yeah, he can give you a word, but does he know the word? The important things. Boom. Facts. Yes. That point. And yeah, he gave the word, but he knew the word too. You facts. And so I said, all right, I got the graphics. What's your excuse, TT? I was like, oh man. I said, okay, let's rock and roll. So I rolled it out last week. I rolled out Testimony Tuesdays. I gave a testimony on how I arrived there. Coming to consistency on today, the power behind being consistent. Sometimes when we're doing things repetitiously, they said something in that video, and some of y'all are just coming in, and I'm going to run that thing back if I can find it, because I got rid of it. I was like trying to move things around, but it was just like, we prepare, we get up day in, day out, right? And we want to do this and we want to do that. We want to go here, we want to go there. If we don't get enough likes, we may not do that thing no more. And you did it for 3 days, you did it for 5 weeks, you've done it for a year. It's not moving in the direction you feel like you want it to go into. And then it's gonna be like, all right, so yeah, nobody's really liking that or following it or soliciting it or subscribing. I'm just gonna quit. It's so easy to quit, y'all. Oh my God, it's so easy to quit, but it is so difficult to be consistent. But I promise you, consistency pays off. Now, y'all know your time ain't his time. And when I say his time, I'm not talking about your husband, your boyfriend, your baby daddy, your brother, your uncle. I'm also talking about his time, the one that gives you that clock that ticks within here that keeps you going naturally, daily, right? So when you're at that point where you're focused on something, Pastor Carey, shout out to our pastor, he said, when you're bothered by something and it's burdening you, that's a part of what you're supposed to handle. Like, I love love and marriages and things like that, right? Y'all, fun fact, some of you know, some of you don't. But I was a active marriage ministry leader at our church. I got consecrated. And Facebook just showed me the certificate and everything. I was like, oh my God. I remember like when that happened, I was all nervous, like, I don't know, Lord. I was like, I don't know. And I told Pastor, like, Pastor, now you know, I still drink my wine. Like, I have a glass of wine right now. I said, from time to time I'll be cussing. I'm working on it, but I'm a work in progress. I said, you know, he said, TT, people are everyday people. We all put our pants on the same way, one leg at a time, in most cases, right? He was like, you think I don't think nobody in this church drink, or they don't be out there partying and dropping it like it's hot, and he be saying all his little things or whatever. He said they need someone they can relate to, because you might want to be like, yeah, I don't do this, but then I saw you on social media and you do this. And it's kind of like, I don't have a heaven or a hell to put you in. And that's facts. A lot of the times in life, we so worried about what he gonna think, what she gonna think, what they gonna think, that we don't concern ourselves about what we think or about what he's thinking when he gives something to us. He gives us charge over something, right? I got this. I want to see what this says. I Google King James, who commissioned the King James Bible. It says that King James was a homosexual. Do Zionists know there is no such thing as a Star of David? These are questions. These are good questions. Do Jews know there is no such thing as a Star of David? There's a lot of questions in there. I'm not here to go into the Bible like that. I was just using it as an example, but those are good questions, not officially for me to answer. I'm not the one to answer those because I can't go into good conversation for you. Perhaps I might have somebody on in the very near future that could answer questions like that. I don't want to mislead anybody. I don't want to give you anything that is not right. However, you know, that those are still good questions that you shared. So thank you for sharing that. So as I started being more consistent and faithful, I was thinking about, we're here for this person, we're here for that. We worry about what he say, what she say, what they say, but we got to worry about what God says, right? If you're a believer. Now here's the thing. If you like, I don't believe, I don't care. I know that there's a higher being. You may call him something different, right? I ain't here to do that. That's not what consistency, the power of consistency is about tonight at all, right? I love everybody for who they are and where they stand. Even the people that got a little hate in their heart. Because from time to time, I think we've all experienced some form, some thin line or thick line of hate, unfortunately, because of things we've gone through in life, been wronged by somebody, been hurt by somebody. You may have hurt somebody. You may have wronged somebody. I know I've hurt somebody in my life. I know I've wronged some people in my life. But I also know that change is possible when you want to change. When we change for other people because we trying to be people pleasers, that's when we gonna really not be consistent, because that's not what we're doing for us. But when we believe it and we constantly doing it, that consistency, see, there's that power. It allows you to align with who you really are, right? And what you're destined to do, where you're destined to go. People will tell you about your dream, your goals, your visions based off of a brief conversation or a lengthy one, because they're writing out your story. But your story is your story. Let me show you something. Y'all know I like to talk about analogies and things like that. Okay. This is a mechanical pencil. Okay. Has an eraser. Right. The only true publisher of your story is the one that gave you life. I'm not talking about your mother or father, the people that brought you into this world. I'm talking about the one who actually created and formed you and shaped you when you was in your mother's womb, whether you talk to your mother or you don't talk to your mother, whether your mother is alive and doing well or your mother has gone on to glory, okay? Whether you knew your mother or you don't know your mother, you still, for whatever amount of time, because you could be premature, you could have went the whole 9 months, or that stubborn child and just wouldn't come out and had to induce the labor, whatever that looks like, you still had to come by way of a woman, okay? And so consistency, the story is yours to write, right? If you don't like the way your story was written, because at some point there was an author that started writing your story for you, you get to a point in your life, then you can say, yo, I'm not liking the way this story is going. You have the right to change your own story. And I saw something. Yeah, you said you muted this. That's fine. I got one better for you. There you go. So you don't have to mute. You're gone. Okay, and you're blocked. Okay, so and like I said, this ain't for everybody, and I'm okay with that. It's a free world, and yes, you can log off at any time. There are other podcast shows that's going on. There's other things you could be scrolling. There's work you could be doing. There's anything you like to do, however you like to do it. I'm not holding anybody hostage. I did not make anybody. I did not pay anybody to show up or join this. You didn't have to. And you don't have to stay. If I'm offending anyone, you can log right on off. Never meant to offend you. However, I stand behind what I just said. I believe in everything I've just said. I do not regurgitate anything I just said at all. This is Testimony Tuesdays, and that's exactly what we're doing. And I said in the beginning that we're gonna keep it positive, right? And I said that anything that's negative towards anything that I say or anything that anybody else kindly said that was wanting to sow a seed of wisdom or their testimony, you will never be able to read a negative comment go across this screen, not from me. Okay, that doesn't live here nor breathe here, and will never get exercised here. Okay, so I digress, but I shall not, because that ain't nothing but a distraction, and it's gonna be a 100th podcast because I know how that can go. The power of distractions is real, because there's good distractions and there's then distractions, right? And not getting it. So anyway, moving on. So thinking about how we get to getting lacing up the shoes of consistency, whether it's in your job, you're like, I keep getting overlooked. Stay consistent. See, I believe, and it's my opinion, is this law? No, my opinion. When you're consistent about something, it speaks when you cannot speak. Your work will speak for you because it's consistent. I remember I had a coworker try to be negative and say something that I did not say because of the mannerism. Because I'm witty and I be like extra sometimes, right? Y'all like, really? Yeah, y'all know I am. So anyway, so they tried to say something, and thank God the consistency in who I am. My boss was like, so TT said it like that, and they was like, yeah, they stood on that. My boss was like, no, that's not even TT's behavior, nor is that the way she say things. And if she would have said something like that, that ain't how she would have said it. And I said, thank God for consistency. Now, I didn't even know about the word. I knew about the word, but I didn't know, it didn't mean nothing to me. Just I knew what consistency was, right? But as life has taken me on a journey, as it has taken you guys, we're going to go through some twists and some turns, some roller coaster rides. We're going to go up, we're going to go down. We're going to go around, we're going to go through, and sometimes we got to go under, okay? And so, but when you're consistent, like I said, it speaks, right? So keep going, keep doing what you're doing. Now, there are some things that you are consistent, or you may have been consistent about, and you know you should have cut that out a long time ago. You already know. You knew when you started. You was like, I know I shouldn't be doing this. Okay. And you know it. And so when you're constantly going through and it ain't working, that level of consistency is still powerful. It's just the wrong type of consistency that you're adding to that situation, that circumstance, that relationship or situationship that's not being productive. It's not being positive for you, and it's not giving you good fruit, right? So then some things we don't need to be consistent with, right? Some of the things we need to stay in there and be consistent with, we give up because it's so much easier to give up. It's so much easier to quit. And I want to remind somebody, don't give up on your goals. Don't give up on your dreams. Don't give up on the business idea that you've been thinking about. You might have conversation with somebody and you might have rolled it off. What you think about this? And let me tell you something that I learned the hard way, a hurtful way. And we're going to talk about carrying other people's traumas. When I tell y'all this season about to be lit, oh my God, and I'm about to have some amazing guests. God. And I'm gonna say this before I go down there, is that when you're consistent, everybody not gonna like you, because they're like, well, what you trying to prove, or why you keep doing that? Because you are doing it for your own reason. You don't have to explain why you move the way you move. And I think a lot of the times we're so worried about, oh, they ain't gonna understand, or they're gonna be mad, or they're. What about what you feeling, sis? What about what you feeling, bro? Your life is yours. While it's not your own, it's yours to live. You get to a certain point in life where you get to make choices. Are they good choices or are they bad choices? But whether you consistent in something that's good or you consistent in something that's bad, there is power in consistency. That's why we have to be intentional. That's why we have to really sometimes really sit back and say, look, I gotta take this to the throne. I gotta lay on my face about this because this or because that. When we talk to people, sometimes we become double-minded. And that's taking me back to what I was saying, or I was about to say. When you're talking to some people, if you don't know what you want or where you want to go, people will tell you what you want. They'll tell you when to go and where to go, especially when it's aligned with what they're trying to do, where they're trying to go, or where they want to be. Sometimes your consistency will be a trailblazing line for people who have been tired, sick and tired, worn out, depleted, or defeated. And here you come. You coming in like, hey, and they're like, whoa, hey, okay. They needed that wake up. They needed that jolt, right? But sometimes also you got the people that will treat you like you a magic carpet and they're a genie that's supposed to sit on you and they're going to ride. Or they treat you like a surfboard, a surfboard. They're on the waves and they're just going to ride, right? And then, you know, the old fashioned word, the leeches. You got the leeches, man. And it ain't just the moochers for the money. It's the moochers for your time. Remember I said earlier that there is people that have good distractions and then they're not so good distractions. Sometimes, and I know you might say, and I ain't here to debate nor argue or persuade. I'm just going to share, okay? Because this is a testimony, right? And so there's people that will distract you with a hidden agenda or upfront agenda that you just won't even open your eyes to see because they wear a title. Oh, that's my sister. She wouldn't do that. Oh, that's my brother. He wouldn't do that. Oh, that's my daughter. She wouldn't do that. Or that's my son. He wouldn't do that. Or that's my mother. She wouldn't do that. Or that's my father. He wouldn't do that. Y'all get the picture? Because some of y'all learn the hard way. They will do that, and they have done that. Now, take that and bury it. What you lugging around is heavy. Bury it. You got work to do. You got goals to get. You got places to be. You got people to inspire and lives to help change, including your own. So when you're carrying all these burdens and you're carrying all these weights and you're carrying all this trauma and, you know, you want to be on the stand and act like you the judge with a gavel, you have the right to say guilty, not guilty to yourself, but not to others. That's going to go over some and it's going to be resting surface level for others, right? You got the right to say guilty and not guilty for you. You know, behind closed doors, right? In the shower, what you guilty of and what you not. Some of y'all know that saying, I'm going to take it to the grave. Some of you know people took things to the grave. There is a couple things that, unfortunately, through counseling, I've gotten it out of my spirit, off my chest. But in the world to people, I'll take it to the grave. Because it ain't going to do nobody no good. Like me telling people something that may have happened 100 years ago, what is it going to do for them? Especially if it was attached to trauma. But I had to go through counseling, right? That's why TT from the D podcast has a licensed therapist on deck. Like, you know, you got something you're dealing with or a question, you want to bounce it off of you know, I always encourage people to go to counseling, right? If you got good insurance and your job provides it, a lot of businesses know mental health is the way to go because your mental wellness is so urgent and so important to take care of. My God, on today. You got to take care of this. You got to take care of this, right? Because these take in so much every day. These take in so much every day. Overload. You got some people that say, I'm signing out. I can't. And we're hurt. Because if they just knew that tomorrow would be a little bit better. But when we're overwhelmed because we allow people to wash their clothes and put it in our baskets, and I'm talking about metaphors, their situations, their circumstances. We all got stuff we got to wash. You got to learn how to put your laundry away. And know when you have outgrown some items. You know that sweater too tight, sis, bro. Give it away. Put it away. And if it's stained, why are you passing it on? Going somewhere else. That's another show. Okay. So I want to put y'all up on something tomorrow just to change gears, right? This queen, I'm gonna see if I can share this. This queen is consistent about what she does. So I'm gonna see if I can open it up and share with you guys tomorrow what's happening. We're gonna see. Let me see. I got too many things here. Oh, I got too many pop-ups. I ain't want to show y'all that. Y'all like, TT, you about to take us? No, I'm not. But I want to show you guys what Miss Lisa is doing tomorrow. I'm going to be blessed to be with her and Mike Lynch. Shout out to them. Let me share this. Let me go to her page. Hopefully you guys can see. Yeah, you can't see it because I ain't sharing it in its entirety. But I'm going to share this if I can. Okay. It ain't working where I want it to, y'all. Do it again. There we go. This is tomorrow night, y'all.
Always. Always.
Celebrating the morning.
Always.
The one and only car. One more run for it.
I'll be loving you always. 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 Always.
So I wanted to share that with you guys. So that's for tomorrow, right? If you guys are in Detroit, ticket information, I'm gonna be sharing it on my social media. I've already started sharing it. What's up, Ron? The one and only Ron Leopard in the building. That's going to be great. Yes. It's going to be amazing. And so, as I was saying, Miss Lisa McCall is going to be choreographed, or she has choreographed an amazing piece. And the dancers you saw in there, Gianna Hamilton will be there, Alonzo Doc will be there, and Devin, we call him Yuri, he will be there, and several other amazing dancers. It's going to definitely be a show. What's up, Mimi? That's what I'm saying. That's my sister from another mister, y'all. I know, Ron. Boop, boop. Lisa is that deal. If y'all don't know, Miss Lisa McCall is a world-known choreographer. She was the Queen, Aretha Franklin's choreographer and dancer for over 30 years. Okay. When I tell you Miss Lisa has a testimony, she does amazing things. I've been blessed to be her personal assistant 2 years in a row with Holiday Detroit. This year's coming back. I believe I'll be her assistant again this year. If not, I'll be in the building if I'm not her assistant this year, because she believes in paving the way and providing that, and so she's just doing amazing things. There's something else that I don't think I can talk about that she's also choreographing for. She just cast it for. I know I can say why she cast it, because you guys, I can say this. She is the choreographer for something that they're doing for Mike Epps. And so I was blessed to be her assistant for that when she was auditioning. Some amazing, dope dancers came out for that. And shout out to Angela and Della. They did an amazing job with all of that. And Kiko, shout out to Kiko. She's one of the beasts that can sing her face off from the D, and it's just amazing. Everything is amazing. And so I think that guys is going down tomorrow at the Bonsdale Theater in downtown Detroit. It's been remodeled. It's beautiful. It's amazing. It's right around the corner from AC Hotel, and I believe that side street is Elliott. Okay, it's black tie. Okay, when you go on the scan, like I said, it's on my page. I've been sharing it. Miss Lisa, it's all over Miss Lisa's page. It's all over Mike Lynch page. Shout out to Mike Lynch. Mike Lynch is He's that guy. I've learned a lot from him. He's opened up some doors for me as well, paved the way. He's amazing as well. We got a lot of amazing people that you're going to see on my show this season. I'm just super excited. Yeah, there we go. Shout out Mike Lynch. What a great crew. Yes, listen, Ryan, listen, baby. Miss Lisa got a squad, okay? And you know how Team Beth, you know how we are. Miss Lisa got a squad too, right? And I'm thankful to be a part of both. So, and Ron, I wish I had. We're gonna talk about it because I got to get Beth on here, hopefully before her show in Chicago. Beth, y'all know I'm part of Team Beth. Beth is doing a show at the. I messed this up, Ron. Help me out. At the is it the Chicago City Winery, June 29th? Help me with that because I'll be tearing up that name. They'll probably be like, so yeah, I want to know. But she's going to be doing a show there June 29th. Evra Cassini will be opening up for her, and it's going to be amazing. So yeah, that's going to be dope as well. So what else I want to share with you guys about consistency before I go? I think I got enough time to share this one last little video. I think. Let me try because I don't want to hold you guys any longer, like than the hour mark. I'm trying to do better for Testimony Tuesdays because y'all know I will kidnap you. You know I'll kidnap you, but I'm not going to. And I want to show you. I want to share with you a couple of shows coming up, and I want to definitely tell you who's on next week. So let me try to see this. Still navigating and learning things, and I'm gonna see if I can share my screen because we are talking about consistency. Okay. I don't know if it's gonna let me. No, I can't share that one. That's too long. God dang it. Dang, y'all. I wanted to. I can't. I can't. That one's too long. But I had a good one earlier, y'all. I wish I could go back. But it just ain't gonna let me. Yeah, it's not gonna let me. Yep, it took it away altogether. It took it away. So let me stop sharing. Okay, let me stop sharing because it took it away altogether. What? I'm sorry. What? I don't know what that means. I have no idea. Okay, anyway, so yeah, I got a message and I don't know what that meant. Ron said Beth is doing a show June 6th at the Music Hall with Mickey Howard, Silk, Little G of Silk. Yes. I'll be in the building for that too. Yes. Cuckoo. Listen, Beth is on fire and I can't wait to have her on so she can let y'all know what she's doing. She's doing some amazing things as always. But yeah, Mickey Howard, if you guys are Mickey Howard fans, if you guys are Silk fans, I know y'all know Little G. I met Little G and I had the pleasure of working with Little G. God, I think back in the early 2000s, because whether y'all know it or not, he's an actor. And he did the stage play Peerless Times many years ago. And I'm going to have TJ Hemphill on actually next week. I'm going to definitely have to bring that up. But he was one of the people from Peerless Times. And so I was, at that time, I think the first time I met Little G, I was just a extra and I was a part of the chorus. And then as years had gone on, for those of you that know, I've been blessed to be a stage manager for TJ throughout the years. So that's been a blessing. It's where I really got my skills from, learning. TT, I can't wait to see you. Yeah. So, Ryan, I wish you let's be clear. The first podcast interview you do, it needs to be mine because I've been after you for a minute. Okay, we'll talk about that offline. So anyway, so I'm excited about what we're getting ready to do. And I want to thank you guys for accepting and growing with me. The consistency that I've had, consistent in all I do. It's hard work. Being consistent is not easy. I said that. It's not easy at all. But when you stay true to what you're doing and you keep your faith and you seek God out to direct you, because he's going to give you, he ordered your steps already. He will guide you. He will lead you. I promise you. Man will mislead you, misguide you, get you lost, set you up. I'm trying to tell you. But God will set you up for the setup, the ultimate setup, which is a blessing. Okay. Sometimes we miss our boats because we allow other people to lead us. But let him lead you. He will never lead you wrong. I promise you that. Ron said, I'm in witness protection. I can't. So Ron, you crazy. And so next week, join me. TJ Hemfield will be in the building. He's now going by Ty. We'll get into that, unpack that. The following week, I have a special guest. I can't say who that is. June 9th, going back to that, June 9th, I will have Kyra B and Vaughn, where they're going to come on. They're going to talk about healing from the rhythms within. They're working on some amazing things in the city for artists. Okay. June 16, I'm going to have Damon Fletcher on with Rocky. Rocky is his publicist. He was on Damon Fletcher. He was on maybe the year before last on my show, I believe. And he's coming back. He has a concert coming up on Father's Day in Ferndale, Michigan. So we'll unpack that and talk about that. I'm super excited about June 23rd, Stepping Out on Faith. I'm going to have Pastor Mickey Smith all the way from Jacksonville, North Carolina. We're going to have right here from the D, Melanie Smiles. She'll be coming on by way of the D, and halfway in Atlanta, Vetra Stevens will be on. We call her V. Then also the one and only Christina Benjamin by way of Detroit, all the way down in Atlanta as well. We'll be talking about what it's like to step out on faith, because these women have definitely stepped out on faith. July 14th, shout out to Chanel Bush. She's coming on talking about wisdom legacy. It's going to be amazing. And the following week, the 21st, we're going to be having our licensed resident therapist, Kyra B, on with a panel of guests. I won't tell you all those guests because I'm waiting on a few confirmations, but we're going to talk about loving on loved ones with dementia and how to provide self-care to yourself if you're the caregiver, and those that surround you, including those that you love that are going through dementia. So we have a lot going on, right? I'm going to be having, like I said, a couple of people, I can't tell you who they are just yet, but I'm sliding things in, a lot going on as we prepare and get closer. I'll be sharing more flyers with you guys. Before I go, let's see if I got this. I don't know if I can put it in here. No, I can't do it. I don't have enough time for that. But I will say this. There is a casting call. I'm the production manager for Prince of the Pulpit. They are having extras casting call on Wednesday, May 20th at 7 p.m. That's when we're filming the trailer. So if you want to be a part of that, then you want to sign up at parablesent.com. The director is Richard Bass, okay? And so this is brought to you by Vanessa Lynn. Y'all already know how her stage plays be, and it's going to go down on September 19th and 20th out in Dearborn. We'll be talking about that. I'll be interviewing the cast and some crew members, including myself, because I'm a crew member and I'm also a podcaster. So yeah, we got a lot going on. God is so good because baby, I'm booked and busy, and all the people that I roll with are too. So thank you for joining me. I kept y'all over 2 minutes. I'm going to end you guys out with a song that is so befitting. Shout out to my husband, Swifty McVeigh, who got me all the way together with my opening and now with my closing. Until next Tuesday, keep it sweet, stay positive, and share your testimony with someone who can grow from you. I'll see you soon.
You never gave up on me. You never gave up on me. You were my testimony.